Good day. How are you doing? And I'm Brian Nash, and welcome to How We Got Here Genealogy Happy Hour. And today I'm going to be talking a little about brick walls and answering your questions. Um, if you're watching this after the fact, um, please just leave a comment and tell me that you're watching it on repeat. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about brick walls and um, some unique ways to break them down and try to resolve them. So, those of you that are new to genealogy might not know a lot about brick walls and what exactly they are, pretty much what they sound like. They're an immovable force that's stopping you on your path of building out your family history. Um, there's those things that you get in the way of that usually are unseen because that's what you're looking for. I'm going to talk a little bit about a brick wall in my family and how I was able to solve it after several years in a very unique manner. And one of the things I'm going to ask if you want to come on and I'm giving the opportunity this week, and I'm going to see if this will work going forward to have you come on and chat and where I can answer your questions face to face. So if you have a camera and you have a question you want asked, just drop a message here in the comments, and then over on Twitter, send me a DM. You'll see in the pinned comment at the top how to do that. So just 1 second here. I'm just checking on these, a couple things here. So yeah, if you have any questions, anything that you would like answered, like I said, just ask now. So I'm going live on Facebook and YouTube as usual, but I'm also on Twitter today. And I'm just updating here. This is a beautiful night in Prince of Island where I'm at. The sun is shining. Summer's arrived, and I'm really excited about it. So let's get back to brick walls. So one of my brick walls that I had in my family for a long time was finding my maternal grandmother's mother's side of the family. Part of it has to do with commonality of names. I knew her name was Catherine. In fact, she was alive in my life, my great grandmother, and I knew she had a sister Florence, who was also alive in my lifetime. And I like to say that I was her favorite great grandnephew or niece. At least it seemed that way. Anyway, and she was a spinster who had no children. So I knew her name and her sister's name, but that's about the extent on the family that I had records of. I knew approximately when each of them were born, based on their age at the time of death, though we never had an exact age. It was definitely not something that had been confirmed because the records apparently had been lost. I had not been able to find any birth records, or I went and I looked at, my grandmother was born in 1922, so I knew that her mother would have been married probably 1921 or a little bit sooner. So I started looking for marriage records. I knew her husband's name. I have actually traced his history back to arrival in Canada at this point. Um, but I had nothing on her parents. Um, so I had to dig in and try to figure it out. Now, one of the things I did was I looked at the Canadian census. Um, so just 1 second here. I'm going to bring up the. Um, there's a great at the Library and Archives Canada. They have a great tool for searching the census. Um, so there's actually a brand new tool that they just recently started because they've been revamping their site. I'm just going to move a few things on my computer so I'm shown at best resolution when I go to share my screen. So I'm going to add this right now. You give me one quick second. So I have, this is the search for a Canadian census. So if I was looking specifically for 1911 and sooner, 1921 is currently the most recent Canadian census that's available. Um, and I wanted to find out some information about her. Um, so I knew her approximate date of birth was in between 1887 and 1890, 98, 99. So I'm looking there. I'm not going to actually set a range at this point, but I know that her first name was Catherine. Now, Catherine can be spelled numerous ways. I tried it both ways, so I'm going to look for a Catherine, and her last name was McGinnis. I knew that because that's what her sister's maiden name, the name she kept, and I was able to get this information obviously from knowing her, but also confirmed with my family that was that family name. Now, issue is spelling. Um, McGinnis can be spelled in numerous ways, and my experience with enumerators in Cape Breton, where they were from, that often they would spell it the way that particular enumerator knew how to spell it. That could be MC, MAC. Often they mix those up, so I needed to look for it, and like I said, I had some information that I knew whereabouts in Cape Breton she was. It was in Inverness County, and I knew sort of her year of birth. Like I said, it's a range here, so I'm gonna do 1887, and I'm gonna just search 10 years. And for places, we're not going to do all provinces. We're going to select the provinces. We're going to do just Nova Scotia, and we're going to search. Again, I'm going to specifically at the beginning, I started searching, unable to find anybody in that range with that spelling. So let's modify it, and we're going to go with the McInnes, and we're going to search and select province or territories. It's still just Nova Scotia selected. Perfect. And we're going to search. So we have McGinnis. We have Barbara Catherine, and this was in the 1921 census. I know this wasn't her. So we're going to try to search. She could have also been called Kathleen. I knew that because I've seen it, her name in different places as both as well. So I'm going to try to do a couple other things in modifying my search. I'm just going to do calf, and then I can, and I know that here that she is female, and I'm not looking for anything else there. I was pretty sure she was born in Canada. Not positive at the time. I am now. But we're going to look at here, and I'm going to use a wild card, and we're going to search. This will give me any Kathleen's. Okay, so we just have the same one. So we're going to try the same thing. We're going to modify it again, and we're going to use a C. So we'll start with McGinnis, the way it is. And I have 35 results. So I'm looking in Cape Breton County specifically, or Inverness County. So I'm looking for those there. So I have in 1921, 28. That's not her, unless the census had been done at the same time as my grandmother was born. My grandmother was being born. So I'm going to look at this here. This is the 1901 census. So I'm going to look at this one. The 1921 census, I'll take a look at this one because that could be correct as well. 1901, I know she wasn't 6, so I'm going to rule that out. 1881, 1 year. I doubt this would be her. It's Pictoso. Again, looking in 1881, Inverness, it's possible, highly doubtful. This is a possibility, living in Glace Bay, but in 1921, I would assume she would have taken on her married name by then, being McKinnon, but we will look at this. At this point here, I'm assuming she was still living with her mom before, her parents before 1921. 1921, I'd be looking for McKinnon. So we have a couple different ones here that have the possibility. There's a few I can rule out. North Sydney, it's possible. Inverness, so 1918, Inverness. This right now is probably looking at in 1911, 18 years old. Sorry, Inverness. This looks very promising. Again, as I go through things, I'm going to 1921, 1901, 21. That would mean she was born in 1880. I believe she was younger, a little younger than that. Could be here. $14. Yeah, I'm thinking she seems a little, and that would make it in 1886 possible. 1891, 4 years. This is possible as well. This, I'm assuming, actually is probably the same person, possibly. So I'm gonna look through them. So I'm going to try to narrow it down a little bit if I can. Like I said, just gonna glance through them all and see which ones are there. Okay, Colchester, I'm not going to look at that. Cape Breton, that was there. Inverness, Judic. Okay, so we're going to go back to page 1. Am I on page 1 still? Okay, so we're on page 1. So actually, let's go to next. Didn't go there like I was supposed to. Okay. No, I doubt this would be her. I doubt this would be her as well. Possible. No, Hants County, no. Um, Possible. I would find this interesting. She was born 1876 or 77. Again, possible but doubtful. Okay, so let's go, and that one's very possible. Now, there's a few other things I can choose to search by when I do the modify. It does have a few other options here. Okay, so who, and I'm looking for her to be related. She would be the daughter. And birth country, I'm going to say, is Canada. And occupation, I'm going to leave. Religion, I'm going to leave this. I'm assuming she's Presbyterian. I'm pretty sure of it, but it's possible she could have been another religion. But depending on the year, they could be listed as Church of Scotland as well. So I'm going to see if that narrows it down. Okay, so this here, it's finding no results now. So the only thing I really changed was the relationship as daughter. So we're going to take that off because that didn't help. So we're going to go back and we're going to 1887 film. There we go. Modify search. And we're going to search. And why is it giving me birth country Canada? Okay. I added that. That's correct. Okay. So 1891, I said this was highly doubtful. So what I'm going to look here now is I'm going to look to see if there is a Florence or Flora listed as well. So when I'm looking here, this is the basic data. I'm actually going to look. There's a couple pieces of information I'm specifically going to look for. Sometimes it's a little different on each one. They will actually tell you the line number or page number. So here it's telling me it's on page 8 to 9 and it's family number 35. So it's family 35 that I'm interested in. So I'm going to bring up here and I'm going to look at family 35. So family numbers are here. So head of a household is Dennis McGinnis. I'm looking for with Catherine. There we go. So we have Catherine and we have a Margaret. I don't see a Flo or a Flora. So I'm going to, and I can tell the way they would write it because they wrote a Flora up there for a different last name, a different family. She's not on this one. So I'm going to go back. The easiest way for these is actually just to search back. And this is where, like I said, it really lasted for a long time. I'm skipping the 1921s. 1891, 4 years old. So this is possible in Inverness. And the reason I say Inverness County, because her husband was from Inverness County. So it's very likely that they lived close to each other growing up. So on this one here, we're looking at family number 82. So let's look at so we have family number 82. Okay, we have Lachlan McGinnis, we have a Maggie, we have a John, we have a Mary, and we have a Catherine. No Florence. So this, while still a possibility, is not likely. So we're going to go back and we're going to, like I said, go through the process of elimination. And what I'm trying to get to here at this point is, so 1901 to 13 years. Let's see if this one is possibly the person I'm looking for. So this is which census year? We're looking at this as census year. Let's see, June 1887, and her information is 13 years old. So let's make it born in 1874. Again, highly doubtful from what I know and have. And sorry, let's look at here. So she is in family number 58. So we have family. There seems to be some discrepancy here. There we go. So McGinnis, we have Charles, Mary, Angus, Michael, Flora, Catherine. Okay. So this is a possibility. This is a big possibility. So this one's showing her birth date is, 1887. This one here is giving the year of birth and age at the time. So the year of birth, 1887. So we have a Florence. Okay, so we're going to keep this in mind. And what I actually am going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it over here as a possibility. And we're going to go to the next one. The next one we have is, we're working backwards because we're on page 2. We're going to go to page 1. 1 to 4. Okay. We did have more results there previously. Let's see what we're looking for. We're still Catherine, female, year of birth. Okay. So on those ones, so far we have possibly one. This one here, let's go back a little ways and see what we have. Okay, so this is Inverness. It shows I already looked at this one. Which ones I've looked at? Okay. So we're looking at this one that was born in 1887 as a possibility. And this was, again, the 1901 census. She was 13. So 1921, 1891, 14 Hanson, no, wrong one. 1881, 4 years. I'm pretty sure this is not right. I'm going to skip this one for now. 12 years in 1891. That would have made her born 1879. I'm going to skip that. 1891, 3 months in Inverness. I'm really wanting to get to a 1911 census. That will actually, I might just do that, narrow down to 1911. Okay, so we're looking at river inhabitant. She is family number 14. Okay, family 12, 13, 14. So, we have McGinnis, and this looks like Margaret, and she has a son, Donald. He's and daughter. This is all the relationship to head. So McGinnis, Margaret, son. There's no Florence, so or Flora. So we're not going to put much heat into this one. So this was the river inhabitants one. It's very still possible because this will be the same one. But like I said, we're going to actually narrow the census here. I just want to look at just the 1911. So 1911, we have her at one at 18 years and one at 28 years. So let's look 18 years. That would make it 1893, which is roughly where I'm thinking that's around in 1892. So we're going to see, and here's West Bay Scotch. That describes the family. Subject District 34, page 19, family number 176. So we're going to bring this up and we're going to look for family 176. So it's right near the top there. So we have Peter, we have Mary, and we have Alex, and we have Catherine. So with here, I don't have a Florence, and Florence was actually older, so I don't see her on here, and I would expect to. She's listed as Kate. Yeah, so this is most likely not the person I'm looking for. So we're going to go back. And we're quickly going to go to the other one, which I think is too old. Or this would be 1880, 1883, 84, as opposed to 93, 94. So we're going to look for this. And it's living in Sydney, page number 18168 is the family number. So there's family. So we have a Dan, we have a female Catherine wife. She was not married to a Dan McGinnis, so I know that is not her. So we're going to go back to here. We're going to modify our search one last time because I do want to specifically search here. And we're going to try Mac. And it says none. So let's look we're going to see. And so this, we're really kind of lost. We still haven't found the right Catherine McGinnis. And I have found her before, so I'm not sure why I'm not finding her today. So let's go back, and we're going to go to the censuses. Census years. I'm going to get rid of this 1911. This will then check all. Victoria, Iona, 1901. That would make her 1895. It's possible. Let's check. So when we're looking at this Catherine, she's the daughter. She is family number 93. So we have Annie Catherine Joseph. No, this is not her. There's no Florence. This one here was not her because there was no Florence. Picto's not her. Inverness, 1881, 2 years, possibility. So we're going to look at her family. Catholic, again, I'm doubting this is her. This would almost tell me for certain, I would almost for certainly think this is not her. This is the right area though. So let's look, and we're looking at family number 30. $29, $30. So there we go. We have Angus McGinnis. We have Catherine, age 2, no Florence or Flora. So I'm going to say this is a new. I'm almost thinking this is the same family as here. No, that's a different family. That's Charles, Mary, Angus, Michael, Flora, Catherine. So this one here is 1901. And doesn't have anything interesting here as far as the family. So Gaelic and Scotch, no religion there. So this so far still looks like my best potential. So in this one here, we have Charles and Mary. So if we look at Charles McGinnis, born in 1842, and his wife is Mary, 1850. So we have Catherine, born in 1887. I'm going to change something up here in a second. So that there was from the 1901 census. So we're going to look at 1911. And I'm going to remove Catherine because it's spelled different ways here. But I'm going to look for Charles. And I'm going to tell you a little reason why I'm a part of it is I know that her father's name was Charles. Now, as a fact, I didn't at the time. And when I went through this before, I was getting like, depends how you search. And this is a good thing to do. When you hit Brickwalls, you can always go back and search again. Try to record what you're you've looked at. So I'm going to change some things here. I'm going to modify the search, and I'm going to look for Charles. So I'm going to look for CHRL, and I'm going to hit star Charles, and I'm going to remove the date, and I'm still looking in just Nova Scotia. We're looking at Charles. He is a male, and relationship to the head of house. I'm going to put him as head, and we're going to, I'm going to put Scotch, which is, I really find interesting that they tended to list themselves as Scotch. So we're going to put Scotch there and see if that brings me up Charles. I'm specifically looking for anything after it'd be 1891 census on. So let's go, and we're going to also narrow down select years. We're going to go to 1891, 1901, 1911. 1921, I'm going to search for 2, but I'm doubting I will find her with him if I find him. So let's hit search. So it's telling me it's not finding anybody. But I know he was there. So let's move the ethnic origin, Scotch out, because those 2 things I added this time were that. And we're going to search. Still not telling me, oh, year of birth, sorry. That's not it. I meant to have deleted that. So we're going to go back to there. And so Charles McGinnis, 1901, Pictou, it's not him. Inverness, 33 years. So when I'm looking here, when I was looking here, he was 58. So let's check this Charles. Does he have a daughter named Florence and one named Catherine? And again, I think this is a family I looked up before, but let's double check. Family number 45. Charles McGinnis, Catherine McGinnis, Flora, and Catherine. Oh, wait. Son, Don. Well, that's interesting. So I also have Flora as his wife's name's Catherine. He's got Flora or Florence, and we got Catherine. So this, December 14th, 1893. Now, when I was looking at this, 1887, and Florence is 1885. This actually seems more like the right dates. This actually seems more like the right dates over here. So let's look at this Charles. He was 33 in 1901. So let's look to see if we can find him in 1911. So in 1911, I would expect to find him being 43. Possibly 44, all the way, depending on the way they took it. Could even be this in 1921. No. 1911. We'll see any 1911s here. And what's the district here? We're looking at Bridgeport. Sorry, was it this one? In 1901, we're looking at inhabitants, river. Okay, so we have these 2 possibilities right now. So I'm going to still look at 1901. I doubt Charles was 74 and had that other. We looked at this one already. He had this one, 33, 1921. That would make him 53. possibly 46. 1901, 1911, 1901, 1921. Okay, so we got 1901, and we have 1911. And when I looked at these before, there were other Florence and Catherine combinations in other census years. But I've narrowed it down to these two here. So Catherine, December 14th, 1893. And then her sister was born in 1889. And then, oh look, there's a son here. And son looks named like Donald. So let's look and see what we can find out. This one here, in this family, there was no other children after them. Now I'm going to do something I hadn't done. I have actually a record that I have when I was at my grandmother's house clearing it out. I came across a number of different things. And these are the things that helped me decide on which Catherine McGinnis is the right one, and even which parent it should be. So I'm going to show you what I came across. One of the first things I came across was this half photo here. I'm going to switch it to there for a minute. So you're going to see this half photo. It says grandfather and Uncle Donald. This was in my grandmother's possession. This is written in her writing. So we have Uncle Donald. So that would mean that's, I know on her father's side, she did not have an Uncle Donald. So this to me would be her mother. Mother's father. On her father's side, her grandfather was John or Lachlan. It might have been John Lachlan, actually. So anyways, so we have grandfather and we have Uncle Donald. And yes, her father had no brothers named Donald. Her grandfather, her mother's father, had no brothers named Donald that I had been able to find at that point. So I was pretty sure this was who I was looking at. So I'm just going to show you that picture elsewhere as well. Now I keep all my pictures of my family organized, and I have them organized by basically almost in a family tree way. So I go to my folder here. I'm going to show you this picture. I'm going to bring it up. And I'm just going to I'm actually going to keep it here. And I'm just moving some things around. And I'm going to do this here. And we're going to share a different screen again. And we're going to do window. There we go. I'll share this screen right here. And so this is this photo, just a little bit of closer up of it. And then I'm going to go to some other things that I have. I believe I kept them here on my computer. So let's see here. They still might be on my phone. Let me just check. I'd uploaded. I take some pictures at my grandmother's house um, because there were some things I was not able to snatch. My mother had actually was quick to throw out things. My mother, who doesn't have the same liking that I here, is an entry. It was the memorial book for my grandmother. So look at this. December 14th, 1893 is listed as her birth date. And what do we have on this? This Catherine? December 14th, 1893. So between that and the picture, I was able to confirm that this, if I followed this family and I followed them back, I was able to get the information, which is really interesting. But I'm going to show you a couple really interesting things on this particular one that I found. So I'm going to go over here. So we're looking at this place here, specifically is in Inhabitable River, and just 1 second here. Here, no, that's just a memorial. I thought that might have, it's upside down. I thought that might have some more information on there, but what we're going to do now is we're going to look for what we can find. Now we have her family, we have her father's name. I have that confirmed because of the birth date, picture, and I have this beautiful picture. As you can tell, it's a half a picture. It was taken from some type of, it's on card backing, and it was taken from a whole picture. I don't have the other half. I did not come across it. I wish I did, because there's some things I would like to know. So I want to actually show you something that I had recently done. This great website had contacted me, and they wanted to know if I'd be interested in testing out their website and seeing what it does. So they do photo enhancements. Just 1 second here. They do photo restoration. It's called, I'm going to share this over here. So this is the site. Minimize this, maximize this. It's imagerestoration.com. Really easy to remember. They wanted me to give it a try. I have to tell you, it's a really easy website to use. It didn't take me that long. In fact, when I set this up, I logged in and had the scan of this image, the one I just showed you, was a scan that I had taken from my scanner previously, and I uploaded them. When I uploaded it, I asked for some specific things. What I wanted was, I wanted all these corners cleaned up, and I wanted as much as the name and the handwriting was important, I wanted that removed. just so I would have a nice clean picture. Um, Wanted some of the these edges cleaned up, all these marks that are actual physical um, little tears. I wanted those cleaned up, and I wanted the color enhanced a little. I did not want it colorized. That is an option. One of the reasons is I wanted to keep sort of the original aesthetic of the sepia tones, however you say it, and it was kind of important to me for that. So I I went to the website. I uh, I went to the website, signed up. The next day after I had submitted the photo, I had gotten an email with a copy of the what they did a proof for approval, and that was last last week on, I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday, where I emailed back and said that looks great. Did everything I wanted. On Monday, I got um, this envelope from them, and then I got this lovely completed picture of my second great grandfather and my great uncle, grand uncle. Um, Something I did not have in my collection before, and it's I'm really, really, really excited to have this. Um, I'm gonna figure a place out on my wall where to put it. Um, Very, very happy with the quality of it. I definitely recommend it. I've used image restoration software myself before. Um, I have to say, any of the automatic stuff I've done with other software has not been as good as um, the quality of this. Um, and really, you can't beat the price. Reasonable for getting a nice 8.5 by 8 by 10 um, image. Uh, Really, really good. The things just the auto generated software just doesn't do. Um, so yeah, I definitely recommend them. Anyways, so I just wanted to really, yeah, thank them. I'm going to be doing a little video probably up shortly where I go over the whole process. I did record it as I went through it, and I just wanted to share that with you tonight on my live stream. Um, the, the the impressive quality, but also the main thing was to talk about how things like using images that you have, pictures you have that might have labels on them. Often they're labeled in the back. It can start to help you break down um, family family members that you might where you have might maybe have some brick walls. Um, this was really helpful because when I was originally searching, I had one more person's family name, sibling that I could then compare it with. Um, Also, it, because I was able to find it in the census and find him, I was able to tell his age and estimate the year this picture was taken. So at the census time, he was um, sorry. At the census time, when I'm looking here, he was um, born in 1900. So I'm looking at this photo. He was, I would say, between, um, if we go back to it, um, he was 5 to 6 years old, 7 at most. So this would range this picture for me between 1905 and 1908, which is also in keeping with about the age of my second great grandfather. Had this picture for a long time. I scanned it and I had tried to do some adjustments myself using photo software. Nothing like I got done from image restoration there. Really, really, really happy with it. I mean, how can you not be happy with this? In fact, let me show you if I go to this, if I go to actually here, so we're looking at this image here, and this is the original, and I'm going to bring up on the same screen in 1 second here. And there. So as you can see, this is the copy that I got sent. This is the proof they sent me, and if I go to the as opposed to the original new image, much nicer, cleaner, enhanced. I'm just really, really happy with it. Okay, so it's getting near that time. It's I've been on for an hour. I've rambled on. Now it's time to hear from you. So let's get ready to field any of your questions that you might have as we do what I traditionally do at this time. I do our last call, and this is our question and answer period. So I'm going to ask that you, if you have any questions, just drop them in.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I need to announce it's last call at the bar.
Oh. Last call!
So let's try that again.
Last call!
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I need to announce it's last call at the bar.
Oh.
So just drop your any of your questions you have there in the chat, and I'll get to answering them. And if I don't have any, I can call it a night. Okay, everybody, you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the How We Got Here Genealogy Happy Hour.
Things change. Farewell, farewell, my friend. Things change. Farewell, my friend. Farewells, they're not